Yo, what's up, guys? Today, this is Bryson, and we're back with a video on the Razer Viper V2 Pro after 2 years. Let's get into it. Starting off is the QC after 2 years. A lot of people have issues with the Razer plastic mice, the Death Adder, and the V2. And so I'm going to say I've had no issues. It's been a wonderful mouse. I don't have any problems with squeezing. I don't have any problems with, crushing this thing in my hand. It's been really good. So yeah, the QC over 2 years has been really good. I personally haven't had any problems, but man, I've heard many reports. If you have problems, I'm sure Razer will, help you out. If you do have this mouse and you're just looking at someone else's video on their experience over 2 years. So yeah, I haven't had problems with it. Getting into the coding, actually, I have had problems with that. It's had wear, especially because it's a white mouse. It gets really dirty, a ton of oil stick to it. Like my hands sweat a lot, so it gets really oily and it gets brown. It looks really bad. That's been my experience with it, and it hasn't been so great. That's why I have these grips on it. They helped a lot with making it feel like a premium new product again. Getting to the weight, it's 60 grams. What can you complain about? I don't know how to put it. Everybody has different preferences on weight. I personally have been enjoying really light mice, these two, really light mice. These feel amazing on a SkyPad. This feels, it all just feels amazing. This on this glass mouse pad, but it's all personal preference in that sense, but I personally have been enjoying it. And 60 grams is a really good weight. The shape is just the Viper shape. If you like the Viper 8K, if you like the regular Viper, if you like the Viper Ultimate, you will like this shape. If you actually like the grips from that, you will like the stock grips that come with it. Been a good experience. I love the shape. This is about how I grip it. I use a claw grip. Sometimes I go into a pincer claw when I'm like, I need as much control as possible, so I press down, things like that. Feels really good. It's comfortable. I know different people have different opinions, but this has been one of the most comfortable mice, and that's why I've had it for so long. I usually get rid of mice. Like I've had two of these because I didn't enjoy it at first, so I came back and tried to three of these because I didn't enjoy it and I came back to it. This is my first one, and this is my first one, obviously. This is my first one because, I've had it for so long. Clicks over the years, how has it been? Amazing. Cannot complain. They don't degrade like a lot of mechanical switches do. They don't have a lot of issues like mechanical switches do. So it's been really good, and I've really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait for Razer's next mice. Side buttons I've also had no experience. They don't have side wobble. They don't play really much. They're really firm, unlike the Razer Viper Mini SE. So yeah, they feel firm. There's no pre or post travel, none of that. Getting to the scroll wheel's honestly one of my favorites. When I first got this thing, it was my favorite scroll wheel until I got the ULX. Feels really good. It's super light, is very tactile. It definitely was a step up over the Viper 8K that I dailied for like years, or for like Razer did like a whole flip on this thing. They got rid of the RGB, they lowered the weight, they tuned up the clicks. They made this more of an reviewer enthusiast mouse, and I think most all reviews came with a positive light towards this mouse, and this is a big step for Razer. The SE was also a big step for Razer too. These two mice has been amazing, and Razer is influencing all of it, and I'm glad that they did such a good job on this mouse. And yeah, so yeah, overall been good. Getting to the stock skates, didn't use them, never have. Put core pads on this immediately. I've had these same core pads on since I got them, and the airs, they're wearing out, especially now that I switched to a SkyPad. I need to replace them, so that's probably going to happen soon. They're really scratchy, so yeah, I can't comment on stock skates because I never rock stock skates for long, unlike this mouse, which I rocked it until I got the dots. Getting in the sensor's been amazing. 3950, all three of these mice feel about the same. This one, in my opinion, I feel like Razer has done a really good job at keeping consistency key. They also are the first ones to get sensors. So this has a 3950, this has a 3950. $33.95. So this uses less power, but it's more inconsistent in my opinion. These use more power and also have motion sync and 8K hertz and are super consistent. This has motion sync up to 4K hertz. I cannot wait to try 8K, but that won't have motion sync. So I really enjoy 8K motion sync. It has been such a treat coming from a Razer Viper 8K enjoyer, and I didn't even use 8K often on that mouse because I switched between the two. I never had issues with like stuttering on 8K, but I liked motion synced, kept it consistent. I prefer consistency over hitting max and then bottling down lower, things like that. I don't want my graph to be, like this. I want it to be like this, in a sense of, maybe there's spikes, but it's more consistent, as straight as possible. So yeah, 8K hertz issues. They just implemented it not that long ago. I ran 4K hertz right when I could get the hyperpolling dongle. I ran it. So I've had no issues on 4K hertz. I know a lot of people do, and it's something that so many people complain about. How to fix your issues. One, hardware is usually the issue at first. If you have an old CPU, an old 6-core, you're going to have issues. I've had issues on 6 cores, especially if they're old Ryzen CPUs. If you still have problems or you cannot understand, I would honestly consult someone like Chamber. He does a really good job at hardware tweaking. He's been doing it. He has a lot of experience. He has consistently helped people. He understands it. He keeps up with the market. So yeah, if you want to, if you need help, I seriously consider checking out Chamber. Speaking of Chamber, actually, he wanted to give his comments on the V2 Pro as he's been maining it for a long time now.
Here are my thoughts, honestly, on the V2 Pro, having it for a little bit over a year and a half now. Now, a couple of things I have done to this mouse. This is fully updated on the modern firmware. That's a big deal for me, actually, with Razer. They care about people. They're not going to just release a mouse and there's going to be no firmware updates. That's actually something I really, really hate, is when they release a really good, high-quality product and then don't do anything about it. I mean, like, cool, you can release a really good product, cool, obviously, but there's going to be new things coming out. Some things are going to be better than others. And when you're going to release a top-tier product and then just kind of let it go, no one really wants to see that. When I heard that earlier in about November of last year that they were bringing an update to the hyperpolling dongle, which I do have, to allow 8K hertz wireless, perfect. Cool. It even decreased the debounce time, allowing for better clicks, even on the previous polling rates that are already available to users. Do I like that they sold an additional dongle to allow hyperpolling? No. But hey, I would rather them say, hey, like, we're not ready for this technology yet. Release it later and then be able to purchase it for people. I think it was really cool, actually. Like, literally, I remember like having like notifications set up on my PC and like on my phone for when it got restocked just to hit it. And those things were reselling for crazy. A couple mods I've done, I just put the included grip tape on. I've used the coating and the grip tape. I like the grip tape more. Just found that for a lot of games I can aim a little better. I can kind of hold the mouse, kind of crunch it. Speaking of that, clicks sound amazing. There's a little bit of creaking on mine, but I think that's mostly just because I'm like trying to make it creak. In a game, I'm not going to make it creak. Shape is all like personal preference. I don't know how big my hand is. I don't care. Do I grip the mouse and it feels comfortable? Yes, absolutely. I like grabbing this. And over the year and a half that I've had this mouse, I've gone through like multiple different mice, kind of trying to find like a different one. The bigger one that I thought was going to be my main mouse was actually the Pulsefire Haste 2. I don't like, it's all right. There's just no grips on this one. This one I feel like curves at the right size for your hands. I can just kind of grab this one. If you are really interested in keeping this mouse and you want to keep this mouse for a long time, there's a couple of things I would recommend doing though. So I have actually used one of these, so I can actually kind of give my own opinion on this. but I really recommend checking out the TJ Exclusives lightweight base. You're removing about 10 grams from the mouse, making it about, I believe it's like 48 grams or something insanely light like that. And for a mouse this big, that's very, very good, especially just because all you're doing is instead of having like the solid bottom, you're just going to have like a kind of like a final mouse type base where there's going to be holes on the bottom. You're going to notice it? No. It's super easy to do. Just put any skates you want on it. These are Corpads Air. I thought these were really good at the time. Just buy dots. I think that's kind of the best thing to do whenever I get a new mouse. That's probably what I'm going to do. There's nothing... I think the big deal for me is that there's nothing insanely like special about this mouse. It's a Razer mouse. It's a Razer mouse. You're gonna know what you're gonna do. You know what you're getting. You're gonna be getting high quality, good build quality. A company who actually is gonna like stand behind their product. They're not gonna disappear. They're gonna release firmware. They're gonna have really bad synapse, which I absolutely hate. I literally use my laptop to control this mouse on synapse, and then I just use the onboard memory. Don't have to touch it ever on the PC. But yes, affiliate links will be down below to this mouse. Highly would recommend picking this one up, especially if you like a bigger mouse. Like this is about the same size as the Ultralight X, the biggest one, which I believe is like the Lion. This is the biggest one. It's about an Air 58 kind of clone, the Ninja mouse from a couple years ago. This will probably like this would be a mouse like if I had to use this mouse for every day for the rest of my life. Cool. Probably put a lightweight base on it. Putting in some newer grips on it, but this is a perfect mouse for me. You get high quality polling, you get Razer wireless tech, which is the best. I'm gonna say this, I've had Logitech mouse cut out because my router across my room, and then this one I can do whatever. I've had multiple wireless devices. If I put my phone next to it, the polling's fine. 8K hertz works. If 8K hertz doesn't work, cool, just use 4K. In my opinion on the polling rate situation, that a lot of people are like, oh, polling rate. Here's what I'm going to say. Just use whatever you want. I mean, like, cool, you might not be as fast, but hey, you're going to get more battery. Now let's let Jedi conclude.
So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. So yeah,